Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, born June 26, 1968, is an American former professional football player who was a tight end in the National Football League (NFL) for 14 seasons, primarily with the Denver Broncos. Regarded as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, he ranks third in tight end receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. He was also the first NFL tight end to amass over 10,000 receiving yards. He is the younger brother of former wide receiver Sterling Sharpe. Sharpe played college football at Savannah State and was selected by the Broncos in the 7th round of the 1990 NFL Draft. During his 12 non-consecutive seasons with Denver, he was selected to 7 consecutive Pro Bowls and 4 first-team All-Pros, and won 2 consecutive Super Bowl titles. In between his Broncos tenures, Sharpe was a member of Baltimore Ravens for 2 seasons, with whom he received an 8th Pro Bowl selection and won a 3rd Super Bowl title. Sharpe retired as the NFL leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns by a tight end. Following his retirement, Sharpe appeared as an analyst for the NFL Today on CBS Sports and co-host Skip and Shannon, Undisputed on Fox Sports 1 with Skip Bayless since 2016. He was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. Early life and education. Sharpe, the younger brother of former NFL wide receiver Sterling Sharpe, grew up in Glenville, Georgia, where he was an all-state player in 3 sports at Glenville High School. He once joked, "We were so poor, a robber once broke into our house and we ended up robbing the robber." He commented, "I was a terrible student. I didn't graduate magna cum laude. I graduated, thank you, Lord, at Savannah State." He played football and basketball, and also competed in track and field. In track, he competed in jumping and throwing events. Sharpe was a 3-time All-Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference selection from 1987 to 1989 and the SIAC Player of the Year in 1987. He was also selected as a Kodak Division Women II All-American in 1989. He led the Tigers football team to their best records in the program's history, 7-3 in 1988 and 8-1 in 1989. As a senior, Sharpe caught 61 passes for 1312 yards and 18 touchdowns, including 3 games with more than 200 yards. Sharpe finished his college career with 192 receptions for 3,744 yards and 40 touchdowns. He was inducted into the Division Women II Football Hall of Fame in 2009, Savannah State Athletic Hall of Fame in 2010, and the Black College Football Hall of Fame in 2013. Professional career. Despite his stellar college career, Sharpe was not considered a highly rated prospect in the 1990 NFL Draft. In addition to playing Division Women II college football, Sharpe's size 6'4", 230 pounds was considered too large for a receiver and too small for a tight end. He was eventually selected in the 7th round with the 192nd pick by the Denver Broncos. After 2 mediocre seasons as a receiver in which he caught just 29 passes, Denver converted him to a tight end. This quickly paid off, as Sharpe caught 53 passes in his 3rd season. He remained with Denver until 1999, winning 2 championship rings at Super Bowl XXXII and Super Bowl XXXIII in the process. After the 1997 season championship, his first he appeared on General Mills' Wheaties boxes with 4 other Broncos. After a 2-year stint with the Baltimore Ravens, where he won another championship ring at Super Bowl XXXV, he returned to the Broncos. He played there until 2003. From there, he retired to become an NFL analyst for CBS. Ozzie Newsome, the Ravens general manager, said of Sharpe during his career, "I think he's a threat when he's on the field. He has to be double-teamed. He's a great route runner. He's proven that he can make the big plays. That's what separates him. He's a threat." Sharpe was selected to the All-Pro team 4 times, played in 8 Pro Bowls 1992, 1998, 2001 and amassed over 1,000 receiving yards in 3 different seasons. In a 1993 playoff game against the Los Angeles Raiders, Sharpe tied a postseason record with 13 receptions for 156 yards and a touchdown. In the Ravens' 2000 AFC title game against the Oakland Raiders, he caught a short pass on 3rd down and 18 from his own 4-yard line and took it 96 yards for a touchdown, the only touchdown the Ravens scored, en route to a 16-3 Ravens win. As of, this remains the Ravens' longest offensive play in team history. Sharpe also caught a 50-plus yard pass in each of their other 2 playoff games. He finished his 14-year career with 815 receptions for 10,060 yards and 62 touchdowns in 203 games. NFL career statistics. Legend bulb. Regular season. Year team GPU CV Ricky CVG LNG 1990 and 16-7 1991 D in 1622 1992 D in 1653 1993 D in 1681 1994 D in 1587 1995 D in 1363 1996 D in 1580 1997 D in 1672 1998 D in 1664 1999 D in 523 2000 BEL 1667 2001 BEL 1673 2002 D in 1261 2003 D in 1562 total 203 815 2016 postseason 8-team TP receiving record VG LNG 1991 D in 26 1993 D in 130 1996 D in 12 1997 D in 412 1998 D in 39 2000 BEL 46 2001 BEL 29 2003 D in 15 total 1862 814 post-playing career. Sharpe was a commentator for the CBS Sports pre-game show The NFL Today, including the Sprint halftime report and the Subway post-game show, replacing Deion Sanders and co-hosting with James Brown, formerly with Fox NFL Sunday, former NFL quarterbacks Dan Marino and Boomer Esiason, as well as former coach Bill Cowher. In the 2004 NFL regular season, Sharpe defeated Marino and Esiason in the pick-em game of the NFL Today with a 53-21 record. His critics say that his broadcasting skills are hurt by his poor grammar and enunciation, of which Sharpe has a very noticeable lisp and drawl. A satirical article in The Onion of CBS producers asked Shannon Sharpe to use at least 3 real words per sentence. On February 18, 2014, it was announced that Sharpe, along with Dan Marino, were being relieved of their duties as on-air commentators on the NFL Today and were being replaced by Tony Gonzalez and Bart Scott. In 2013, Sharpe became a columnist and spokesperson for Fitness RX for Men magazine and appeared on their September 2013 cover. Sharpe has hosted Sirius NFL Radio's opening drive morning program alongside Bob Popper. Sharpe was among the 17 finalists being considered for enshrinement at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2009. However, he was passed over in his first year in a class that included Bruce Smith, Rolf Wilson, Derek Thomas and Rod Woodson. On October 23, 2009, the NCAA Division Women II Football Hall of Fame announced that Sharpe would be inducted in December of that year. In addition, Savannah State University also retired Sharpe's No. 2 jersey. On November 28, 2010, Sharpe was nominated as a semi-finalist for induction into the 2011 Pro Football Hall of Fame, along with Art Model and 24 others, among them Jerome Bettis, Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, and Deion Sanders. Subsequently, on February 6, 2011, Shannon Sharpe was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Sharpe was escorted to the Hall of Fame ceremony by Canton native Haley Smith, continuing the tradition of pageant winners escorting the inductees. After his retirement, Sharpe has been a social media staple, going viral for his antics and sports commentary. He is also notably a huge supporter of NBA player LeBron James, referring to him as the greatest basketball player in NBA history. He also appeared on the American Dad episode The Scarlet Getter, portraying himself. Sharpe joined Skip Bayless in the F-Zone Sports debate show Skip and Shannon, Undisputed, which premiered on September 6, 2016. In addition to his defense of LeBron James, Sharpe is also known for his criticism of Tom Brady and the Dallas Cowboys on the show. Sharpe also has a podcast called Club Shay Shay. The episode of Club Shay Shay featuring Bubba Wallace was selected by the Apple Podcasts editorial team on the Apple Podcasts Best of 2021 list. On the 10th February 2023, former NFL star Brett Favre is suing former NFL players Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee, as well as Mississippi Auditor Chev White, for making defamatory charges about the Packers legend's involvement in a $77 million welfare fraud scheme. A representative for Brett Favre, 53, stated that Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee tried to enhance their careers by fabricating unsubstantiated defamation charges against Brett Favre. Hall of Fame tight end Sharpe, who played for the Ravens and Broncos, referred to Favre as a sleazeball on his F-Zone show in September and charged the former quarterback with stealing $1.01 million in Mississippi welfare payments in return for lectures he never gave. Former Colts punter McAfee, who now runs a well-liked Sirius XM podcast, stated that Favre had stolen from the underprivileged people of Mississippi.